everyone, it's Nancy here and I'm back with week 5 of my project Life. I am just showing you that I did do a little bit of prep with my cards here because I had some from the colour wash collection, is it? From Heidi Swap, I believe. And it's the ones that have that resist on them. So I did just take my watercolours out in order to add some colour to the cards. Could have done with a bigger brush here, but just using my water brush and those Mr. Huey watercolours, which I do really love. They're a great tiny little set to use. So I'm just flooding the colour across these cards. And as I said, I'm really happy how these ones came out. I think, they're really just great. This card, yeah, don't love how this, well, I love how it looked. I'm just using the colour wash here. Is it colour wash? Stain? I don't know what it's called. And yeah, I love it, but it just really didn't go with this layout. I'm not quite sure what I was thinking, to be honest. So yeah, that card ends up being replaced. I do just add a little bit of this gold here because I do use a gold and sort of turquoise and teal theme on this layout. But yeah, that card doesn't make it. I also then just pulled out from the other spread because I had already, as I said, put my cards in there like I normally do. Had these two, so I just wanted to make sure I got those coloured in as well. And I love these two cards. I love it with the bigger resist on. Those other two cards just had a small grid on them. And I don't think that kind of necessarily show up as well. But I really like how these cards came out. And of course, once they're dried, I did just take a very kind of dirty looking baby wipe just to rub off the colour from the resist. So now I'm working on my cards. So the first one is the week card, and I'm just using this one is actually from the Heidi Swap collection. And I had kind of a placed design where I could put this little title. And again, I'm just using the Heidi Swap date stamp actually, which has kind of like a hand writing on. And I really like how that looked. So I've just added that there, and I've kept it quite simple. And then here is one of those decorator cards. And as is becoming sort of commonplace now, I'm just pulling a couple of washi tapes to use for my decoration. And this is just a photo of bathroom at my parents' because my dad is currently doing some DIY to the house. I do apologise that again occasionally I'm going off camera here because I am zoomed in and I'm kind of forgetting that. I have the Studio Calico small alphas that I really wanted to get used up. These came in the January kit, but the problem is they don't kind of really show enough. So I'm just looking at my Spectrum colour chart there, and I'm pulling out one of my alcohol markers, and you get to see my crazy hair, and just going over those, and that is just going to help them stand out a little bit more. And I end up using that technique across many of those alphas on this layout because I want to get them used up. So I might as well just colour over them. And again, I'm just taking one of these cards from the Heidi Swap, and it had like a beautiful day or something saying on. Didn't get 2 of the cards in the pack, so I was quite happy that I could find another one to use if I wanted it. So I've just covered that up. And after week 4, when I used those sequins, I really loved how that looked. So I go sequin crazy on this layer, and I use sequins on every single card, I believe. So just adding them to the corners or somewhere on the pages. Then I'm using this beautiful gold card, gold and white, and again loving just using this gold and teal combination. And then this is just a photo of I had a late night appointment at the hospital, and It was funny because like sitting around deserted wards with like cleaners going around is a little bit odd. So yeah, I had to take a picture of it like you do. This is when I pull that card out that I showed you previously, and I'm just really not happy. The colours, I love it, but the colours just don't work. So I'm just pulling out my Studio Calico kit here, seeing if I can find another card that's going to work. And I find this grey tone one, and so I'm just going to pull that one in instead, and it kind of works with the rest of the cards on the layout. Sorry guys, I went there for a minute. So I've just added some of the washi tapes. Both those gold washi tapes are actually from Stamping Up, and just really love how they just add that decoration but without the bulk. And then I'm just taking my alphas here to add that title, and I do decide to stamp my book rating. And again, I'm just colouring those in with my Spectrum Noir marker. And I decided to go with like a shiny turquoise, a teal and a grey sequin. And as I said, there's a couple of them I don't end up adding to, but when I put it all together in the end I was like, no, these do need sequins. Every one on here needs a sequin. So this is just another one of those cards that I watercoloured on, and this photo is just of me laying in bed being poorly. I was just feeling really awful with this chest infection, had like no energy, and yeah, felt really, really bad. So sorry, as I was saying, I was feeling bad, so I stayed at home this day, but as always, the day that I decide my body can't take it anymore, it's a day when it all kicks off at work, so I did end up just laying in bed for the morning, working from home, and then did manage to get some rest in the afternoon. So of course I want to document that, and yes, I still had my Christmas duvet on at this point. Yeah, really bad, really lazy changing that, which is kind of grim, but it's all changed now. It was just, I'd been so poorly, it was like I can't even face doing that. So that's why there was a Christmas duvet. Here is just a photo that I took when I was in the car wash, and I love the going through the car wash, and it's just, I don't know, I kind of get like really excited. And like, yeah, it's just funny. I've done a layout about like how me and my boyfriend, whenever we go through the car wash separately, we always like send each other funny car wash selfies. And yeah, this was like a new car wash. It wasn't the normal one I go to, and like, yeah, I kind of got really stressed because it wasn't like the normal one I went to, and you had to like park it in slightly differently to. So yeah, it was quite an experience, but yeah, so I just had to document that, of course. This beautiful gold chevron card from Heidi Swap is just amazing, and I've had to use a Studio Calico label on there because of course I couldn't write on it, and that was just documenting a drama serial that I listened to. And this card again this is just got a plain grid card, and this is just documenting the fact that I was kind of feeling a bit better this week. I kind of like had a day off and kind of rested a little bit, and actually managed to start doing some video editing and kind of getting some of those sorted. So of course I wanted to document that because it's something I hadn't done previous to this because I've been feeling so rubbish. This is another one of those absolutely amazing Heidi Swap cards, and this is just showing a piece of cheesecake and coffee that I had, and just talking about a couple of things that happened that week that don't necessarily relate to the photo, but you know, I kind of wanted something to add to that card. And yeah, it's super, it's super simple but effective, and it's given me sort of enough room to journal on that card. Excuse me. This is another card about the books that I've been reading, and this was like the third one in that trilogy. And so of course I was just cutting that down, and I'm going to be layering it on this card. I did have issues again because there's such a large expanse of kind of the resist on these cards that it was going to be really difficult for me to write on. And I didn't necessarily think about that when I was planning my cards out. So I did have to kind of think of another way that I could create somewhere that I could journal. This is a piece of paper from the Serendipity collection from Dear Lizzie, and I do end up cutting just like a couple of boxes on here that I can add so I can do my journaling. It's not necessarily the best placed and both aesthetically pleasing, but yeah, it works and it gives me somewhere to do my journaling. Again, I had to do the same on this card because I didn't have the room to do that journaling, and I love how that works. And you can see me there just testing how I was possibly going to be able to write on it, and if I was, and how that wasn't going to work. So I'm just using these letter stickers to just add some random words about this Sunday on there. And as my dad was doing some DIY in our bathroom at home, my aunt was away on holiday or away for the weekend, so I let myself into her house to have a bath. She was aware that I was possibly going to do this. I don't just go around breaking into people's houses having baths, but I thought it was, it was something a little bit different. It was something to document the fact that I was wandering around town going into different people's houses to have a bath. So, and again, just using those stickers, those little letter stickers, just to add some titles to the page. And again, as I said, this is not really not a title as such. It's just some words that kind of summed up my Sunday, which I like, and I really like how it looks and how some's capital, some's not. Really love that. So now I just have another card that I'm needing to find somewhere to write on, because there was an image right in the middle of it. And this is just talking about what I like to call my dad TV. Me and Dad will sit down and watch some TV each week. And we're both really into Gold Rush and Railroad Alaska at the moment. And if I'm not about, he will record those for me so I can sit and watch them with him. He'll re-watch them with me. So yeah, I just wanted to do that. And again, I'm running out of those stickers, so I was having to make them up from other letters, and I don't think they look too bad. And again, just using, I did just swap where I was going to place that and just adding some more washi tape there at the top, because this card looked a little bit odd because it had to add that other layer in. And of course, just adding some sequins on top, just to create that continuity across it. And again, these little images were just pulled off the net. So thank you very much, guys. And here, hi guys, I just want to show you my week 5 complete. So this is the two layouts side by side. Really love how this came out. There is similarities. I can't say that word. With my week 4, because I have used the sequins, and I don't kind of mind that there's 2 weeks in a row that has a sequin element. That's fine by me. So this is the top 2, and as I said, this is just a card from Heidi Swap. Then this is the one that I did ink, and actually just using my Bic Biro, which is what I use to do my journaling. That came out absolutely fine, and I'm so much happier that I coloured those, what were they, Studio Calico little letters together. And I'm really happy with how that came out. And then my middle row, I did go back and just add some sequins to this card because I realised that every other card had sequins on. So I did go back and just add some sequins. And this is a card which came from the Studio Calico kit. It kind of works all in well together, and I really love this gold and turquoise. This card is the only one that's troubled me a little bit. This is the one that I was going to use this card for, but yeah, it just wouldn't have matched in because it was gold based. So it's a little bit blank here. I could go back and put something in it, but I thought, hey ho, there's no point. I also did make a boo-boo there with my journaling, but just crossed it through and carried on. I thought, I'm not going to get precious about this. And then here is that other one, other card which I used watercolours on. So they have warped a little bit, but I'm sure with, you know, everything else in the album they'll actually just stick down pretty fine. And so this is the next side, down here. So again, I kept this card pretty simple, just using that Heidi swap card. Again, the balance is a little bit off on this one because I had to cut out to do journaling because of the larger expanses of the resist. I couldn't write on it with a biro. But all in all, I think it looks okay. And I like actually how much of that watercolour card is showing. Here is then the other card. I did go back and just add some sequins to this again because I wanted to make sure all of the cards had sequins on. Because when I started putting them in pockets, I realised there was like 2 or 3 that didn't have it. So I decided that I needed to go back and do something about that. So that is how that row came out. And I really like these little labels. They're actually Studio Calico, and I forgot I had them in my stash, but I think they kind of work pretty well. And I'm just loving doing this like double washy thing. It just makes a really simple embellishment. And again, I'm really happy with these. This is that T that I kind of butchered. I possibly could have cut that top row off, but I'm just going to leave it now. It kind of looks like a T. I'm not going to worry about it too much. And again, yeah, I just really like how these came out and the amount of journaling that I can get on. And I know I said it in my last video, and I'll probably say it again. That is what I love about doing Project Life. I get that amount of journaling down really quickly. It's done, it's dusted. I like how the balance of this layout has. I've tried to kind of spread out where I've used the kind of glitter thickers. And yeah, I'm just really happy with how it's all come out and how it's all going pretty well. I mean, as I said, it goes from this kind of pink theme from week 4 to this lovely gold and turquoise theme for week 5. So I'm not quite sure what theme I'm going to go for week 6. I do just have to print all my photos out for week 6 and plan how I'm going to do that, but I think I'm going to do something completely different. I haven't got my Studio Calico kit through yet, so that is something that I need to get through. Hopefully it will turn up sometime next week and I can use that for summer February, because that's the only problem being in the UK with getting that Studio Calico kit, is that it takes a while to get here. So thanks very much guys for watching, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye!